G'day guys, just Rob again, doing another video. I think it's end of the month time again. Time for another end of the month DVD Blu-ray update. So just sort of showing what I sort of bought this month. I think again I tried to not buy too much this month, but that didn't really work. I actually did buy quite a lot. There's quite a few deals going on at the moment. Sort of, Black Friday time. Don't have Black Friday in Australia, but there's a lot of other similar sort of deals, and you did sort of manage to pick up a few bargains. So yeah, so we'll get into it. Might just mention I've actually got a competition running at the moment where you can win the Jaws Digi-Book and the Hellboy Steelbook. So I'll leave a link down below to that if you want to enter the competition and win some free stuff. So yeah, so we're going to do what I bought. Quite a stack. I think I've got about 20 things I think to show you. I've got some stuff I wanted perhaps to do. I haven't watched some of it, and some I might do just some single reviews on at some point. Well, hopefully do some single reviews on at some point. So I sort of haven't included those in this update. There's quite a lot to show there anyway though. Yeah, so I managed to pick up a few sort of really cool box sets, which I got at a really great price, and just really couldn't pass up for the price. So I got the Fast and Furious sort of special edition box set, which I thought was pretty cool. It's kind of like I don't know, it's like a tyre in there, and it's actually quite heavy, so I'm not sure what. I only sort of got these two box sets I think yesterday, I think, so I've not had a chance to sort of open them up and have a bit of a look at them yet. Yeah, so it's like I don't know, like a tyre type thing, and I think it's got all 5 movies in there. I think I've seen the first 4, I haven't seen the last one, which is supposed to be, some people reckon it's supposed to be the best one. Well, supposedly a lot better than the 4th one. A lot of people didn't seem to like that one much. Yeah, so that's that. If anyone wants me to do perhaps an unboxing or something, I might do a video of that. So just if you want to see that, send me a message or something. So that's that. The other box that I got was actually a film I've never sort of seen before, but I have always wanted to see it, and people do say it's it's a really great movie to watch. Not necessarily the best movie, but definitely a great entertaining movie anyway. Yeah, so I've got the Scarface special edition box set, which looks like a nice sort of set. Yeah, so I'm sure I'll get around to opening it at some point. I'm actually looking forward to watching the movie actually at some point as well. Yeah, so that's that. So there's sort of the two sort of box sets that I got. Probably the most exciting things out of the things I'm going to show you. I've got one DVD, so I might just show you that to you there. I actually got a sort of 3 movie pack of Humphrey Bogart movies. I've got Dead Reckoning, In a Lonely Place, and The Harder They Fall. I did sort of watch In a Lonely Place. I watched that probably a week or 2 ago. Just downloaded it and watched it. Which is sort of one of the main reasons why I sort of bought this set. It's actually a really good movie, I thought. Some people do say it's actually Bogart's best performance in a movie, they reckon. Yeah, really good movie. A bit sort of depressing, I suppose, but I think most of his movies were, I think, really. So yeah, I'm sort of looking forward to sort of watching, the other 2 movies and sort of see what they're like. I'm sort of getting into some of the really sort of, old school black and white sort of film noir movies. Some of them are actually really good movies. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to watching. I also got a note on it was actually sort of stuck to the front, just from the seller. It says, "Hi Robert, thanks so much for buying from us. We hope you enjoy the 3-disc set. Kind regards, Michelle and Tony," which I thought was a nice sort of touch to include. But anyway, so that's that. That's the only DVD that I got. The rest are all Blu-rays. Big stack here. This is probably one of the sort of most anticipated releases of this month, or it might have been last month, I think actually. Got the E.T Digi-Book. I haven't sort of seen this film for quite a few years, and I'm actually pretty keen to give it a sort of a rewatch, especially on Blu-ray. I'm sure it looks a lot better, and in terms of picture quality. I did sort of, when I was trying to get this, I was trying to perhaps sort of hunt down the edition with the plush toy, but I couldn't sort of find it for a sort of a decent sort of price. It was rather pricey, and I did sort of find someone trying to sell it for I think it was like $250 I think online, which I thought was pretty ridiculous. So I'm not going to pay that much for it. So I just got the Digi-Book. I think I paid $25 I think from Big W just online. That was sort of the cheapest that I could sort of find it for. But I did sort of go down to one of the local shops recently, and they've actually got the plush toy edition in there. I think for $35. But I think I don't know, an extra $10 for a plush toy probably not necessarily. I don't think it's not necessarily worth it. I don't think. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy though with the Digi-Book. That's pretty cool. So that's got that. And also bought this. I think this one last month. I think actually. I just got the Super 8, which is kind of like a bit of a very sort of similar to E.T. It has the same sort of vibe to it, and sort of story about kids type thing, sci-fi alien type thing. Actually, I sort of watched this at the cinema and actually did quite enjoy it. It was actually a pretty good film, I thought. Great, the actors are all good and great sort of characters, and very much sort of I don't know, had that sort of E.T. vibe to it, which is classics, classic sort of Spielberg type atmosphere to it. The only problem, I think, as a lot of people perhaps would agree, I think that the end was a bit of a disappointment. It seemed a bit rushed, and didn't seem to sort of explain. I think we're sort of left wanting a little bit more from the film, but it's definitely overall a good film. Though I'm actually looking forward to sort of rewatching it again. I think I actually did put this in for like 20 minutes and sort of watched the start of it, but I think I stopped it because I wanted to watch a movie on. I think it was a movie on TV that I really wanted to see, so I also haven't got a chance to come back to it yet. But I might perhaps watch E.T. first, and then I'll watch this one, and just as a bit of a, I don't know, a double feature or something at some point. So that's Super 8. Next 5 here are actually sort of an eBay bulk deal which I bought. I think sort of the 2 films that I really wanted to sort of see, and I've got another 3 in the sort of the deal. So the first one here is actually a remake. It's Friday the 13th Remake, which I think came out a few years ago. I think I sort of watched probably, I don't know, 10 minutes of it and really wanted to turn it off. I really wasn't getting into it. It seemed a little bit silly. But then I think I watched a little bit more of it and actually sort of realised I'd actually sort of seen the film before quite a few years ago. I think I might have hired it out from the video shop once and gave it a bit of a watch. I don't think it's not a bad film. I mean, just perhaps as a standalone film, it's it's not too bad. It has had some nice sort of moments to it, nice sort of entertainment to it, and interesting things sort of happened in it, I suppose. But perhaps as like I don't know. I mean, I don't think I've only seen the original Friday the 13th, which I actually did sort of watch just before I watched this one. Did a bit of a double feature of it. I mean, this one's, from what I understand, this is like probably a remake perhaps of the first 3 films. I mean, because the first film, didn't necessarily have Jason in it much, so I think this is more of a sort of a, first 3 movies, I suppose, compacted into one movie or something. But yeah, therefore it's, not necessarily it's not a bad standalone movie, but I think it's a Friday the 13th remake. I don't think it's really a remake. I think it's more of a reboot. I would have thought. This is like the extended cut, so it's got a bit more gore and a bit more nudity to it. But yeah, I don't know, not too bad. I didn't think really, but I did sort of much prefer the first one. I thought that had a lot more. I don't know. It's just a bit of a movie. I think really a lot more interesting. I think. Yeah, so that's that. Another sort of horror related one. Got the Uninvited, which I think came out a few years ago. I think it's actually like a remake, isn't it, of a Korean film, The Tale of Two Sisters, which I've never sort of seen before. But this one actually wasn't too bad. I actually didn't mind this one. I mean, the whole sort of premise is perhaps a little bit sort of been done before, not necessarily anything perhaps original, I guess. It's sort of about this sort of I think it's Emily Browning, her character, we sort of find that she's in like a mental institution, and she's just been released, and she sort of comes back home, and her mother sort of died in like a tragic house fire. I think her mother was sick, and fire sort of broke out, and she sort of died. That's sort of why Emily Raining was in like a mental home type thing. I don't know. But she sort of comes home and sees her sister again, and they sort of figure that the nurse might have had something perhaps to do with it, that was supposed to be looking after her mum. So that's sort of her and sister trying to uncover the past of this nurse, and will soon to be stepmother. I think the father wants to marry her type thing, and so these two girls are sort of dead against this, and going into the nurse's past to try and find out what's happening. Which I suppose isn't necessarily anything original, I suppose, but it had a bit more of a sort of a supernatural element to it, and you could sort of tell something a bit more was going on than what was sort of shown, I guess. But yeah, I actually did quite enjoy it. I was actually really sort of keen to sort of see the end of it, and I actually did enjoy the end. It was something unexpected, sort of twist ending type thing, and something you weren't necessarily expecting. But yeah, I thought that was actually a really good film, I thought. And Emily Browning's she's very attractive, I think. Yep, so that's that. Next one's actually a film that one of the films that are reasons why I sort of bought this sort of bulk deal. The film I sort of wanted to see for quite a while, because I'd sort of heard a lot of good things about. That's number 23 with Jim Carrey. Just heard good things about it. And I did sort of enjoy the movie. Apart from the end, I just sort of tend to say that a lot. The end. I think you've got to have a really good end to a movie, otherwise the whole movie's just spoiled. But the film, up to that point was actually really good. I was actually really enjoying it and really wanted to see what was happening, type thing. Essentially, it's about sort of Jim Carrey, and the movie sort of starts out with these. You're sort of late to meet his wife, and his wife sort of goes into a bookshop and finds this sort of strange book, and she sort of buys it for Jim Carrey, for her husband, and Jim Carrey starts to sort of read the book, and he sort of notices that the book seems to be about him type thing, so he sort of gets a bit obsessed with it, and sort of trying to find out who wrote the book, and what sort of happens at the end of the book, and he sort of gets obsessed with the number 23. He sort of sees that number everywhere, and it starts to go up, I guess a bit nutty, I suppose. That's essentially the premise of the film. And then we sort of have the end. I mean, for me, the end just totally sort of what's the word I'm looking for? It's sort of disvalued. That's not the right word, but totally just didn't make any sense. I mean, if you sort of watch the film, it with that sort of ending, it just didn't seem to fit. At least for me, it didn't seem to fit what happened in the movie. It didn't sort of explain what happened in the movie, if that sort of makes sense. I mean, it just didn't make. It's okay to have a twist ending. I mean, that's fine, but I mean, you've got to make sure the twist ending is going to sort of fit, with what's happened in the movie. It's not just a twist ending for the sake of it type thing, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, But I mean, I should probably give it another watch one day. But for me, it just didn't make sense. The twist ending just didn't work, sort of thing. It just didn't, match what happened in the movie. But anyway, next one, another film I wanted to sort of pretty keen to see. That was Buried with Rod Reynolds, which I think came out. I think was it last year, or perhaps I don't know. Might have been a few years ago. I was pretty sort of keen to watch this. Heard a lot of good things about it. And I think I did actually quite enjoy this one. I mean, it was. This film is essentially about Ryan Reynolds, and the whole film's about him sort of being stuck in a box. So I guess it might be pretty hard to sort of entertain the audience for a whole movie length with this one guy in a box type thing. So I guess that's a bit of an effort, I suppose, to do that. We sort of fight. We don't know why he's there. We sort of over the course of the movie we sort of learn more, and he's got like a cell phone, so he sort of starts to ring up people to, you know, try and get help and stuff like that. And we sort of find out why he's there and what happened. And but I actually thought it was a really good movie. I really did sort of enjoy some of the sort of elements to it, and had a bit of a fresh type element, you know, fresh sort of, I don't know, things I've never sort of perhaps seen before in a movie type thing. There was a few sort of silly moments. I thought some bits were a bit unrealistic. I thought, like when the snake scene and the scene where he sort of rings up his insurance company type thing. I thought they were both a bit sort of unrealistic. But I thought like, you know, Ryan Reynolds was good in it. You know, sort of just, you know, because we're only sort of watching him, aren't we, for the whole movie, so he has to be, you know, reasonably, you know, worth a watch. I think he did some pretty stupid things though. He seems to be wasting a lot of his battery power on his phone, and you know, his lighter. He seemed to use that too much when he should have tried to been save power. But I mean, I don't know. I guess that, you know, I suppose everyone's an expert. I suppose, you know, when that, you should have done this and you should have done that. But I suppose if you're actually in that situation, you probably, you know, you might necessarily not be thinking straight, you know, type thing. But anyway, that actually, that was probably worth a watch, that one. Actually, I did quite enjoy that. I did hear some people reckon they probably couldn't watch it again, but I reckon I could probably watch it again. Because I think there's sort of a few things sort of going on. You sort of need to perhaps watch the movie again to sort of, you know, fully realise what's happening, type thing. So that's pretty good. Last one's of that sort of 5 set. I got Paranormal Activity. Now I've sort of seen the first. I've seen the third movie. I haven't sort of seen the first 2. And I did sort of actually quite enjoy the third one. I think my friend wanted to go and see it, so I went with her to the cinema and watched it, and really did sort of enjoy it actually. But I think, yeah, I don't know, at the moment I'm not really interested perhaps in sort of watching this one for the moment. I might get around to it eventually, but at the moment I'm not really interested in sort of seeing it. But yeah, I'm sure I'll get around to it at some point. Definitely, I think these are definitely films that people either love or hate. Some people just reckon they're a pile of crap, but I did sort of enjoy the third one from what I remember. So that's Paranormal Activity. Next one is just a film that I sort of bought. It was like an auction on eBay, and I spent like a few bucks, so I just sort of bid on it, and I managed to win it. Great sort of film. Duplessis, sort of a great sort of, I don't know, slightly cheesy sort of shark movie, I guess, but I don't think it's not that bad. I mean, it's a very sort of solid movie, I think. I mean, it's not necessarily a masterpiece or, you know, anything like that, but it's definitely a, you know, fairly good film. It has some nice elements to it, and has a very sort of similar sort of vibe to Jaws 3 or Jaws 3D. Essentially, you've got these sort of people, you know, like well, I think Jaws 3 they're in like a theme park for sharks, or an animal park type thing, and whereas this they're in like a research facility type thing, and you know, eventually the like, you know, in the water type thing, and eventually the facility starts to sort of sink in the water, and sharks sort of find their way into the facility, and, you know, try to, you know, chase down all the people type thing. But yeah, that's a really good film. I'm sure a lot of people have already seen it, but it is actually a really good movie. Next one is just an animated movie that I bought, which I have sort of watched the first time and wasn't really all that impressed with it. A lot of people recommended it to me, and yeah, I didn't like it that much the first time I watched it, but I saw it for $5, brand new. I think it was on Amazon UK, so I'll just grab it and give it another watch. That's actually Monster House, CGI movie from, I think, 2006. But I did sort of rewatch it the other day, and I actually sort of enjoyed it a lot more actually. I think I don't know, it's just me, but the first sort of half an hour seems to be a little bit boring, and I don't know, I couldn't really get into it. But once we sort of get into the actual sort of haunted house type aspect of the movie, it does sort of pick up, and a lot more entertaining to watch type thing after that point. Yeah, so that's not a bad sort of flick. The next two are actually sort of some more sort of, I don't know, special editions, I guess. I got the probably one of my favourite films of all time. I got the Steelbook edition of Ghostbusters, which I think is A lot of people would agree, just a fantastic movie, just really great 80s movie, written by, or I think, co-written by, I think he would have written I don't know, by Dan Aykroyd. I'm not sure if he wrote the whole thing, but I think he was this great sort of screenwriter in his day. He also wrote, Blues Brothers and a lot of really other great sort of 80s movies. It's definitely a great film, great sort of sci-fi type comedy. Very well written and great actors. You got Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver, a few other people in there as well. So it's got a really nice sort of steelbook edition of that, which I sort of had to pick up. Also got the Hellboy steelbook as well at the same time, but that's in my competition for someone to win. Link below if you want to enter the competition. So that's that. The next, I think 10 here, or 6 probably actually, or 7 actually. Actually just sort of saw these on JB Hi-Fi. It had some what do you call them? The limited edition illustrated cover art editions of these sort of sets of these films. So I just sort of want to pick them up and sort of see what they were like. Nice sort of slip cover type thing. So I got Let Me In, which has got a sort of nice sort of comic style sort of cover art to it. Now I do sort of already have this film, but I just sort of I don't know, just got it for the slip cover, I suppose. Rebought it again. This is actually a really good movie though. It's probably a movie that I saw sort of recently. And actually really did quite enjoy it. It's actually a remake of Let the Right One In, which I sort of bought this. I bought this one the other day, like a couple of months ago. I'm not sure if I showed this one in an update or not. I think it's the original one, the Swedish original. This is like the American remake or something. I haven't sort of watched this one yet, but I've watched this one. It's actually pretty good. But it's sort of I just sort of like the relationship between the sort of the boy and the girl type thing, and I just thought that was really well done. So that's a good movie. Also re-bought Buried again. I think I sort of ordered this before I sort of ordered that sort of 5 set. But yeah, I got Buried as well, just with a nice sort of slip cover to it. I've got Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which I did sort of watch the other day and actually did quite enjoy it. I had heard a lot of people recommend this one before, but yeah, it's great sort of comedy type thing. Tucker and Dale, they're sort of playing like hillbillies, I suppose, and they sort of they're on sort of one side of this lake, and on the other side of the lake, on the other side of the lake, sort of these sort of college kids, and one of the college kids sort of accidentally sort of falls in the water and sort of gets knocked unconscious. So they Tucker and Dale sort of jump in and save her and sort of carry her back to the other side of the river, and they sort of wave to the other college people on the other side. Oh, we've got your friend. And so the college kids think, oh, their friend's been kidnapped. So that's sort of what the rest of the movie's about. It's just about these college kids trying to get back their friend, I suppose. Just really sort of funny and I thought just a really good movie, I thought. This one I got is one called Death of Funeral, which I think came out 2007. Great sort of British movie, just about sort of a comedy set at a funeral, with all these sort of characters and just sort of funny things that they get up to. There was a remake, an American remake, 2010, which I think is actually sort of written by the same person. So if you sort of watch the trailer to this one and the remake, the trailer's pretty much exactly the same. It's got the same sort of jokes in it and the same sort of things happen in it. So I'm pretty sure both movies must be fairly sort of similar to each other. That's a really good sort of comedy. The next one I got was actually a film I've never sort of seen before, but I have sort of heard of a few people reckon it's not a bad movie. It's called in Bruges. It's got Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, and Ralph Fiennes. Haven't sort of watched this one yet, but from what I understand, it's Colin Farrell. He sort of gets paid to sort of shoot a priest, I think. So he sort of does that, and he has to sort of go into hiding. So I think he goes over to Belgium to, I think it's a place called Burbs, or how you say it, Bruges, I don't know. He sort of goes out just to try and hide out, but I don't think it's sort of, he sort of tries to keep a low profile, but I don't think it sort of works out properly. It's like a comedy, so I'll get ready to watch that at some point. Finally, one of my sort of favourite films of all time. I just sort of had to get it in this edition. I got Amelie, which is a great sort of foreign film, starring Audrey Tautou. It's a great sort of film, and just very well shot, and great sort of cinematic atmosphere to it. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to explain, I suppose. It's just sort of about Amelie's character, and she's a bit lonely, I suppose, and she sort of spends most of the film just trying to help out her friends and trying to make them sort of feel happy, and in some way sort of neglecting her own feelings. But eventually she sort of finds love, and it's just a really sort of quirky, and has a great sort of elements to it, and just great characters and stuff to it as well. So yeah, that's that. So that's Amelie. It's my huge update. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to enter my competition. I'll leave a link to that down below. If you've sort of seen any of these films, obviously leave me a comment down below. I'd love to sort of hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye.